Lesson 2.2, Video 3. Here we have a unique question where we're trying to solve by substitution. To do so we need two equations, but we don't have two equations. But we do if we look closely at the problem. So we have to take what's been given and make equations so that we can then solve by substitution. Our first equation is right here. So this changes to y. Is means equals 10 less than. Now less than is a switcheroo. So 10 less than means we should change the order of the 10 and the x and say x minus 10. So for example, 10 less than 12 is 2. In our heads we naturally do the subtraction, 12 minus 2. So if I said 10 less than 12, our minds does the subtraction and says 12 minus 10 and we get 2. So less than is a unique verbiage where we would switch the order in which they give us the information. So x and 10 are switched. If I said 10 minus x, we could keep it the same order, but less than is unique that way. So there's one equation, and it's solved for y, which is nice. But the question is, what is our other equation? And that comes from our knowledge of triangles. We have a triangle, and we have a triangle rule, if you remember, that tells us how the angles in a triangle relate to each other. And the rule is that x plus y plus, and this box is 90 degrees, if you remember that, so it's a right triangle. The three of those angles add up to 180. It's a triangle sum rule. Now if we subtract the 90 from both sides, because they're like terms, they're both constants, we get x plus y is equal to 90. And that is our second equation. So even though they didn't give us an outright equation or equations, we were still able to create them based on the information they gave us. So one added step. So we have to be a little bit creative there. But notice that one of them is solved for y. So it's solved for a variable. So that value x minus 10 can be substituted into the y value in the second equation, which will give us x plus, and in parentheses we'll substitute in our y value that is now x minus 10 equals 90. There's nothing in front of here besides a positive 1, so we don't have to distribute anything that would change it. So basically we have x plus x minus 10 equals 90. These two are like terms, so we have two of them. We'll add 10 to both sides, and we get 2x equals 100. Divide both sides by 2, and x will equal 50. Again, we're finding an ordered pair, a location on a graph that tells us where they are equal to each other. We have y equals 50, so the most efficient piece would be to plug it into the first equation, not the second one, because there's more steps involved there. So the first equation would give us y equals 50 minus 10. They are like terms, they're both constants, so 50 minus 10 is 40, and that is our y value. So 50 and 40 on a coordinate would be where those two lines would intersect, therefore considered the solution to the system. And this ends video 3.